Hey Transformers, Coach Patrick here, personal trainer and your nutrition coach here at Perform and Transform. Today I'm going to be taking you guys shopping and focusing on three main things: sodium, sugar, and fiber. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is sodium. So for sodium, you want to make sure you're in a good range. Recommended is 2,300 milligrams per day. And if you were to look at a nutrition fact, you should aim for things that are less than 200 milligrams. Sometimes if you have too much sodium, for example, if you go out to a Vietnamese restaurant, you have pho, you drink all the broth, and you notice that your weight is slightly higher the next day, that's because sodium causes extra water retention. So we're gonna make sure to keep the sodium down, especially if you have hypertension or high blood pressure. So let's go through our first example. So pretty obvious, you have table salt. So just a little sprinkle of table salt, a quarter of a teaspoon is already almost 500 milligrams. 240 milligrams. Something that's better is Mrs. Dash's. So this is like dried onion, dried pepper, dried carrot, lime, all the good stuff, adds a lot of seasoning and flavor without any sodium. Look at that, 0 sodium. This is good if you have hypertension. Next example, sauces. We talked about this in our previous one. Alfredo is probably one of the worst sauces, super high in sodium, super high in fat. Check this out. Again, it's 500 milligrams of sodium. Something better is like low fat plain Greek yogurt. Check this out, it's only 50 milligrams, so like 10 times less sodium. Next, you have chicken broth, right? So you can get your regular chicken broth, it's 500 milligrams, but what I want you guys to get is low sodium or no sodium. So check this out, this is no salt added and it's only 20 milligrams. So like, what is that? Like 400 times less sodium. So try to aim for things that are lower in sodium. Next, you have canned vegetables. So anything that's in a can is generally really high in sodium, so you should try to limit some of the canned consumption. Instead, if you do like things that are easy to go, like canned goods, try to get things that are frozen. For example, instead of getting canned vegetables, get frozen vegetables. Check this out. Canned vegetables, 300 milligrams. Frozen vegetables, 45 milligrams. How they make frozen vegetables is when it's fresh, they freeze it right away. So instead of adding extra salt to preserve it, it just sits in your freezer. So a lot better alternative. Packaged meats, you want to avoid anything that's packaged, right? Both of these examples are packaged. You have hot dogs and you have chicken, but you want to pick the ones that's better for you. So hot dog, check this out, 500 milligrams. You have grilled chicken strips, although it's seasoned, although it's packaged. Here, this example, this one is frozen. It's 2 times less sodium, only 260 milligrams compared to 550. All right, next, let's talk about fiber. So fiber is really important because it's gonna keep you full longer, it's gonna slow your digestion, it's gonna decrease your insulin levels, it's gonna help you with your bowel movements as well. So recommended is 30 grams per day. So you actually don't need that much fiber, but you wanna pick things that are higher in fiber so you hit your fiber target. So you wanna pick things that are more than 4 or 5 grams of fiber per serving. And usually fiber is found in things that are like carb related. So let's go through a few examples. First, you have fruits. So you have apple. So you have the skin on and you have the skin off. So over here with the skin on, it's 5 grams of fiber. With the skin off, it's like no fiber, like 1 gram of fiber. So if you're having fruits, try to eat the fruit with the skin on. If you're having like yams or sweet potato, try to eat it with the skin on. It's gonna give you a little bit more fiber. Next, bread. White bread generally does not have a lot of fiber. You want things that are whole grain, you want complex carbs, you want brown bread. So check this out, white bread is 1 gram of fiber, brown bread on the other hand is 7 grams of fiber. Next, you have rice versus quinoa. So white rice is probably pretty bad to have. You want to avoid white rice, especially in the evening time. You want to avoid the carbs at night. But if you are having rice during the day, check this out, only 1 gram of fiber. Something better would be quinoa, 5 grams of fiber. And how you cook quinoa is exactly the same way you cook rice. You put it in a bowl, you put some water, you boil it, let the water absorb with the rice or quinoa, and then it's ready to go. Next, cereal. All right, so a lot of cereals are really bad for you, like Fruit Loops, like Frosted Flakes, like Cocoa Puffs. Try to avoid those because they're not only are they low in fiber, but they're really high in sugar. So check this out, it actually has no fiber and it has 15 grams of sugar versus something that's a little bit better like All Brand. Check this out, 7 grams of fiber, only 1 gram of sugar. So speaking of sugar, Speaking of sugar, for weight loss, for women, you want to have less than 25 grams of added sugar. For men, you want to have less than 35 grams of added sugar. And when you're looking at the nutrition fact, you should aim for things that are less than 10 grams of sugar per item. All right, so let's go through our first example. So you hear me making this example all the time. You have orange juice versus eating an actual orange. Look at the sugar content. It's 33 grams with, orange juice versus if you eat the orange itself, it's 14 grams of sugar. So when you have orange juice, because you need so many oranges just to make like 1 cup of orange juice, usually 2 or 3, all that sugar, it's concentrated without the fiber, without the pulp, and as a result, it's gonna leave you craving to drink more sugary drinks, as opposed if you eat 2 or 3 oranges, you're gonna be full, you don't wanna eat any more oranges. All right, next, you generally want to avoid drinking your calories. Why? Because there's a lot of sugar, it's not gonna keep you full. Check this out, Starbucks drink. This is a vanilla bean frappuccino, 57 grams of sugar, super deadly. So this is like more than double your recommended intake for sugar already, which is 1 drink. If you are going up to Starbucks, why not get unsweetened tea? So check this out, 0 grams of sugar, unsweetened tea. All right, next, Powerade. So if you're trying to lose weight, generally you shouldn't be having Powerade or Gatorade. This is reserved for athletes that go on sporting events, that need to burn a lot of calories, that need the extra sugar, that need the extra calories because they need it for optimal performance. But for all of us, we're not professional athletes. For all of us, we're trying to lose weight, we're trying to tone up. You don't need the extra sugar. Check this out, Powerade, it's 40 grams of sugar. A better alternative is Mio. You just squirt it in your water and it's 0, it doesn't even have any sugar. So that's pretty awesome. All right, next, pastries. So here you have muffins, again, pretty deadly, 33 grams of sugar. If you just have a toast or bread, only 2 grams of sugar. So challenge of the week this week is level number 1 is I want you to look at all the nutrition facts. Level number 2, I want you to follow these guidelines. Sodium should be less than 200 milligrams, sugar should be less than 10 grams, and fiber should be more than 4 grams. Of course, when you read the nutrition fact, it's hard to balance everything all at once. So you just want to make the best choice with what you're given. If you're given 2 options, A or B, pick the one that gives you the most value. And level number 3 is you want to scan and track some of these things on your MyFitnessPal. So let me know in the comment below what challenge you're going to be doing this week. And I'm looking forward to helping you continue to crush your fitness goals. Thanks for allowing us to transform your life through fitness.